Benfica Podcast is one of the founding members of Benfica Independent. Benfica Independent is an independent platform made by fans for fans, and in it you can find opinion articles, podcasts, including ours truly, and also modalidades, if you will. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Benfica Independent, where you can get merch, you can sign to get exclusive content, and share your Benfiquismo.
Ser benfiquista é uma crença. É uma religião muito grande. A adesão a um culto que é liberado, que é crer, que é vontade, que é o caráter das pessoas.
Calma de quem é grande, maior que os maiores.
É uma paixão com outra explicação.
Eu não consigo explicar o que é ser do Benfica. Eu sinto o que é ser do Benfica. É de facto uma paixão. E as paixões são assim, vivem-se assim intensamente.
Aqui não há nenhuma razão. É paixão, paixão, paixão.
Ser Benfica. Até à morte.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Doll Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças, bringing you the last podcast of the 21-22 season.
You got me scared. I said the last. I was like, yeah, what's breaking news?
Cristiano, what's breaking news in your life?
Breaking news is today, contrary to... Why is this making no
Baixa essa merda, pá.
iPads aqui I'm trying to talk to the Freddies. What's new? Não não sei, mas listen, I'm glad we're back here once again today. You caught me off guard and this messed me all up. But yeah, that really caught. Oh, Dave, when you said the last, did your heart skip a beat? It's mine.
No,
mine definitely did. No.
Mine didn't. I'm ready.
Dave and I are aligned. Dave, what's happening, Dave?
Nothing much, guys. I think a lot of the Freddies are already saying that it's the show that they've been looking forward to the whole season.
Like it.
I think we all share those same sentiments, and we're ready to dissect. And once we're finished dissecting, bury it and never think of this season ever again.
Yeah, I mean, this is by far everyone's. I think this is every year the most anticipated podcast of Benfica world here. Benfica podcast is the buy, keep, sell. No, what is keep, sell, buy? No, keep, sell, loan.
Only outdone by the episode that you tell your stories.
No, I think definitely our number one hits was the people that throw the rocks on the ice from
the
curlers.
the people that throw the rocks on the ice.
I forgot what it was called. Yes, those guys, the rock throwers.
Now we enjoyed. Look,
phenomenal people.
We enjoy every podcast, obviously. But the thing is that there's shows that you're a little bit more up for, and there's other shows that you're not so up for. And I was just talking about Cristiano here before we turned on the mics, and what I was saying was that there's times that I just feel like let's close up shop, and and then there's the weeks that we're off, whether it's international weeks or now the off that we're going to be now for basically off season.
Can't wait.
I look forward to it. I look forward to coming back on the podcast and doing a podcast again. So until I have that feeling, the podcast will continue with me.
I'll tell you this much. There's a lot of times we come on here, and you and I, it's hard to even build up the energy to come in front of a camera with our ugly faces and try to speak to the Benfica Nation. And then we, the 4 or 5 regulars that listen to our podcast here on, the Freddies that sign on every week, the 4 guys. You see them and you're like, you get that energy because obviously these people want to come in here and talk to us about Benfica, and it makes us feel good. It makes me feel good. So sometimes, as we said before, it's not interesting. It's boring. It's a lot. It's, how do we put it? It's a lot more work than it is enjoyable. But for the fact that the people tune in, it's a pleasure, and I hope we continue doing this for much longer. But you said something before the pod, like I'm thinking about giving this something like our last. I'm like, this guy breaking news. I mean, that had me worried for a quick sec.
Yeah. So if you're familiar or you're an avid listener to our podcast, you know that at the end of every season, what we do is we have the list of players that were in the Benfica roster and some of the players that are on loan, and we do a segment that's called Keep, Sell, Loan. And as the name states it, we offer our opinion in terms of what players we keep, what players we sell, what players should go out on loan, whether it's to get more experience or just to clean up our roster. So that's what we do, and that's what we'll be doing tonight.
I think you need to let everybody know that the club may or may not listen to
Well-
what we gotta say. I got for those of
No,
you
no.
that are new, it's not official.
I could tell you one thing: the club does not listen. That's what I could reassure you of. And certainly, look, it's all in good fun. It's our opinion. It's the little fun that we have at the end of every season. Whether it's nominating the Chicken Fingers Awards
We
for
need to bring that one back.
the Chicken Finger Award, but we also
Thing is
have
that this year was a really bad year. Nobody wanted chicken
there was
fingers.
no Chicken
There
Fingers
was
to be awarded.
nobody that warranted chicken.
No, but we also got the we usually do best defender, best midfielder, best attacker, MVP, revelation player, and the flop. So I guess we could probably throw there somewhere in there.
We'll bring back the chicken fingers.
We're
We
back
need
to
a
chicken
sponsor
fingers.
though. We need a sponsor for the chicken fingers.
We'll figure it out.
Popeyes,
Popeyes,
chicken tenders. They're tenders. They're not chicken
Wendy's.
tenders.
I don't know.
I don't know who does fingers nowadays.
I don't know if anybody does fingers.
They're more like tenders.
Yeah, they're tenders now.
Whatever, but we still got to call it chicken fingers.
Anyway, I want to say hello to all the Freddies that are joining us tonight. I know everybody's excited to join us, and we see them all here. And they're way too many, 200 of them already, and I can't mention them all by name.
Nelson brings up a good point. Nelson just said it would be interesting to see. Scroll all the way down. Nelson said it would be interesting to see just how many of your recommendations from last season that Benfica actually keep in Ocel. We got to do that.
I think that we did.
A far producer, rather than being at home tweeting dumb stuff, Rafa best year, yeah, bring our wannabe producer, he could have been doing some homework here in the studio, and maybe he goes back and listens to last year's. Bruno, giving you a little assignment here. You got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Estás en casa,
I think last year we basically got rid of half the squad. Half the squad.
and half went out.
Did they?
No.
I got one right. I said Vinicius. I know that one's gone. I don't remember many more, but that one I remember. Who else? Who else left last year?
I don't know.
Gabriel. We got that one right.
Yeah.
Gabriel. I mean, think everybody got that one right. Who
I'm
else?
trying to think.
Servi.
Jetson, Serbi. No, but Serbi was.
Serbi was he out of
purchased. We
contract?
already knew.
Was he out of contract?
We knew, no, they sold to Celta.
Yeah.
Benfica said yes to 7 and then ask if I'm moving.
No, but there was I guess there's a couple guys that we got
Easy
right.
left eventually. Bring back Gabriel. This Bruno, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, so here we are. Briefly, Benfica played their last game of the season this past Friday. They were in such a hurry to end the season that they brought the game forward.
That was
to
about
Friday.
the only good thing the league did this year as far as scheduling. Congrats.
4 days ahead, though.
They saved the best for last. Right at the end of this episode, I'm still
4 day-
miseria.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Good. That was the best thing.
4-day lead time, right? So 4 days before they announced the game was on Friday. So God forbid you had any plans to go watch the last game of the season. You thought it was going to be on Saturday or on Sunday. There goes your plans. But anyway, I can't really say much about the game. All I could say about that game is that I watched the game in a totally different state of mind.
I got plenty to say.
And I wasn't drunk or I wasn't under the influence of any other substances. I was very calm, and I didn't take a Xanax or anything like that, but I was very calm. And it was a different way of watching Benfica, to be honest with you, especially with everything that's gone on this season and all the suffering that we've gone through this season. But certainly that was it was a different way, and I felt relaxed. There was nothing to play for. I enjoyed it.
That stake. So why the hell would you be nervous?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I got to be honest,
I was sad we didn't get to see Almeida wave goodbye to everybody.
But that's because he's not.
That was messed up, bro.
He's not waving goodbye.
He's a starter next year.
He's not maybe a starter water boy.
No, but I do have a little sign to say. You're right. The game, como é que a gente diz lá em casa, jogar para os Berlim, right? Is that what they, right? Something like that. Playing for the marbles. There wasn't even no marbles at stake. It was a key. But the one thing, look, it was good to see the kids play, but at the same time, I mean, spare me. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, spare me. All right? I don't have to go read in the newspapers that it took courage. And I mean, Benfiquistas should be proud and orgulhosos that Veríssimo put the kids play. I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean, you act like this is the title deciding game. I mean, win or lose, ia sempre estar tudo ao mesmo destino.
Yeah.
Why? Come on,
When-
for Christ's sake.
You know what? There was a funny thing, and I was listening to the Rescaldo from the Benfica Independent with Picado, Tiberio, and João Paulo, and what they're saying is that this is actually the first game of next season.
That's what I thought it was. I thought I was watching an ICC Cup match. That's the
Yeah,
mentality I went
like
into
a
the.
preseason game.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
exactly how
took
I
it
thought
that
it
way?
was.
No, that's how they were saying. They were saying that this felt, and it seems like it's the first game of next season or a preseason.
Until Roger Schmidt comes in and half of those guys are gone.
Well, because you saw a lot of different faces. You saw kids. All right, well, let's give you. I don't subscribe that to the courage that when you got nothing to play for, you could have played the roupeiro
You could have played
for
everybody.
God's sakes. Cortador de relva, pá.
They could have played everybody. And a good look. It was good to see those kids make their debut. It's
And
obviously it gives the younger kids that are looking at these guys that are going to be part of the next U19 team making these runs. It gives these guys extra motivation. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, if we play well, we will get rewarded at the end of the year. And that's fine and dandy. And that's, every club should do that. And, to be brutally honest, right, Dave? Every club should give their, especially in games like this at the end of the year where it's a meaningless game. Yo, but the young kids playing. What do you got to lose? So it was good to see that, right? It was good to see the young kids make their debut at this level. But come on, bro, spare me, please. I don't want to come on. I don't want to sit here and read stories about how benfiquistas or they're orgulhosos because Veríssimo meteu os putos a jogar. Por amor de Deus, man. We're making Benfica. We're turning it into Sporting. These are the little mentality, the little battles, right? Moral victories, Dave.
yeah,
This is all of a sudden, rather than the exigence, it's about we're playing kids. We suck. We finished in third place. What is it? It's the first time in the history of Benfica, right, Dave, that we finished back-to-back seasons in third place.
I didn't do any stats homework on this. But
I think
it would make sense.
I think I'm correct.
Yeah, I
it's
think
the
you're
first time Benfica's finished back-to-back seasons in third place. So I mean, look, that's what you want. That's what you get.
Chico Marcelino might. Well, it is what it is, right?
Full deal.
Chico Marcelino might be able to confirm that one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. We got a bunch of you here, but we got magnitude. All we need is reigning entertainment, and we're ready to go. And LeBaron.
All we got magnitude. Trojans coming up next.
Anyway, we're very happy that you guys are joining us, and we're just doing a little bit of small talk here before more people come in, but we could get started. What do you think? You guys get ready?
Yeah,
Everybody's ready?
Nelson Carvalho keeps making these hockey references. I don't know. He's all upset about his league. My Rangers won, so I'm okay, Nelson.
Take that. But anyway, yeah, we could do that. Even if we don't know how to spell goalkeepers, we're okay.
Pushkas.
So anyway, let's start with the goalkeepers. And I guess
Who did that, Bruno?
yeah, Bruno did that. Bruno can't spell.
Freaking Bruno.
The goalkeepers, and the way I looked at this is I went to what's the site called? 00. I went to 00
0-0.
and I looked at Benfica's roster, and I basically took all the players that were in the roster there, and I put them on this list. Obviously, there's going to be guys, especially in this goalkeeper category, that don't have any minutes, but we could still mention them since they were part, apparently, according to 00, of the main squad. So let's start with Leo Kukubu, Japanese Nigerian goalkeeper that Benfica picked up a couple of years ago. That spent time on the both the B team and the under 23 team. He's Chris. I know that you have a little bit of an insight in terms of the goalkeeper situation at Benfica because obviously we're familiar with CJ. Or CJ is no longer at Benfica, but it was always something that we kept track of was the goalkeepers that played for Benfica and where these kids stood in terms of not only the potential but the chances that they were getting. What's your feeling on Leo Kokubu?
Leo Kokubu. I mean, are you asking me on my personal?
No, I'm saying
opinion
what
or
what
what I think the club should do?
what have you heard about him?
Bro,
right?
I heard that I heard a lot of different things on Leo Kokubu. Kid definitely has some talent. You can't just get to Benfica without the type of talent. But there are some that will tell you he moved way too quickly up the ladder. There are others that will tell you that he hasn't gotten the support from Benfica that you was at one point getting. There's a lot of different reasons and a lot of different thoughts going into when it comes to Leo Kubo. As far as, but I don't even really want to get into to that personal opinion stuff. But as far as we're sticking to our what is it? Keep loan sell,
Yeah.
keep sell loan. As far as that, I think it's incomplete. It depends also what Benfica is going to do. We obviously know, and we'll get to it in a second, but Svilar, we know he's gone. He's not coming back. There's a question mark regarding Helton Late. There's a question mark regarding Vlaco Dimos. I think Kakubu is a guy that you keep around, play him on the B team. And, if you keep him around as a number 3, hopefully he could develop into something in a couple of seasons. But for now, I don't think he is, starting caliber for the main squad. So I would say keep, but, keep on the B team.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think that
you actually keeping tabs this year.
if you loan this kid, obviously he's going to end up somewhere where he's not going to get the playing time and develop. I think with Benfica, where he could still play, he's 21 years old. That's relatively extremely young for a keeper. He could play at the B team. He could play with the U23, and he could get reps that way, and still while the club keeps tabs.
But he's not a first team caliber player.
He's not yet. He's not yet, certainly. So Dave, what's it for you? And I don't know the guy, but
it's got to be a keep for me, because unless we're loaning him out to get some minutes elsewhere in the league, maybe with one of the lower sides, but I don't think he's at that stage in his development where we even know what he brings to the table. So I have him as a keeper.
Yeah,
I feel like you should say keep the B team, but obviously we don't have enough room, so we'll leave it alone. Because when you say keep, you look up.
Yeah, but still keep him at the club.
I think I'm indifferent, but I will keep him at the club on a B.
Yeah, not for the A team for sure, not for the A team.
I think he's inconclusive.
And maybe he could come in and be the 4th goalie or the 3rd goalie for the A team at some point. Next one, Elton Late. Elton Late's 31 years old. Played 7 games or made 7 appearances, 660 minutes. So just averaging 94 minutes per game. So he did the games that he obviously started. He played every game. His contract is up at 2025. So is Kukubu. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. For me, Elton Late. You think that Elton Late would fit a good role as a second keeper, as a guy that understands what his role is?
But isn't that what his role is now?
It is what his role. But do you think that he's happy with the role that he's had?
I mean, there's again, I don't think you're ever happy being a backup. I think you're always striving and you're working your ass off week to week, to get that starting nod. Now, when you have a goalkeeper in front of you who is hands down, in his sleep, a better goalkeeper than you are, I think you swallow it, you accept it. Not that you're fine with it, but you accept it more.
Right.
I don't know if that's how Helton Milk thinks about Vlaco, that the guy's head's, head over shoulders over him. You know what I mean? But I like to think he wants a starting spot. I think at 31, he's probably going to look for, at this stage of his career, if Benfica and the new coaching staff coming in doesn't believe that he is, starting goalkeeper caliber to go into the future, I think he himself is going to be looking to go somewhere where he could play, and Benfica is going to try to make a couple of bucks off of him, because I do think that there's going to be changes at the goalkeeper position going into next season.
Yeah, I definitely think that Roger Schmidt's going to bring another player, and then it all depends on when he sits down and has a talk with Blake, Vlaco Dimos, and the new keeper on what his thoughts are in terms of the way that position is made up. So at that point, Elton might say, you know what, being a third keeper is not something that suits me. I'm gonna try my luck elsewhere. Maybe Benfica will release him and he'll end up in Brazil or something like that. But for me, I would keep him. But
I know Flamengo was interested in him last off season, but Benfica was asking for too much money.
Keep for you?
I'm just gonna say keep, just for the sake of, I can't get rid of it, and I don't know. Look, we definitely knew, and we'll get to Vlaco Dimos, but I guess I'll give my keep sell loan away right away. I want to sell Vlaco. I think Benfica needs to upgrade the position. So if you bring in a legit goalkeeper, I'd have no problem with late staying as a backup. So that's why I'm saying keep. But it all depends on what else they do to the.
Yeah, but are you concerned that if that goalkeeper picks up an injury and he's out for, let's say, 2-3 months, are you content with having Elton Late as the backup and as your starting keeper?
In the Portuguese league, yeah, I'd be all right.
Champions League, maybe
Portuguese.
not.
I mean, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, Dave, what's it for you?
I've also got Helton Late as a keep. I think you guys just briefly touched on it there, but if Benfica goes to the market and brings in another keeper, I think Helton Late's more suited for that backup role, where I don't necessarily see the same thing from Vlaco Dimo. So I've got him as a keep.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable choice. Next up on the keepers, but we really don't need to talk about him since he's going to be gone anyway, is Svilar. 22 years old, didn't play one single game for the main squad, and he's obviously at the end of his
Which
contract.
is a shame. I think unless you think that's them on a business, as doing that as a business so that he has low value going as a free agent. But I think that, if anything, they should have given him this match instead of Helton Late.
Or at least the second half, Dave. I talked about Almeida before. I was joking around about Almeida, but I thought that he warranted playing the second half. Give especially at home, give these guys that have been there for 4 or 5 years, give them a chance to wave goodbye to the fans.
Yeah,
like a game like, unless Tarapto's in, is goodbye, but
yeah,
maybe Tarap doesn't play. You play a guy like, use one of those subs. You got 5 subs. I thought they did him dirty. This is a goalkeeper that Benfica, and we were doing this podcast when this happened. I was at Stade de Luz for the Benfica Manchester United game, where he gives up that long shot, basically backtracked, and he walked in with the ball. He crossed the line with the ball in his hands, and Benfica ultimately lost to Manchester United. And then after the game, I was sitting there and I was hearing Mourinho. I was in a press box in a press conference, and Mourinho was just praising the kid. So, I'm not surprised that that's where he's going to Roma, a Mourinho-led team. What's his name? The dude that's playing Benfica. Oh my God, he went to Chelsea. The center mid, bro. Oh my God, I'm
center mid. Matic.
Matic was speaking Portuguese and he was praising the kid. There was a lot of praise going around in the Benfica. Corredors.
And him being of Serbian descent.
And I remember saying at the time that Benfica, if you're going to throw him to the deep end of the pool at the time, you're going to have to give the kid time to learn how to swim and tread water. And they didn't. They burned the kid right then and there. The kid wasn't ready, and you throw him in such a big stage because he became the youngest goalkeeper in the history of the Champions League to play, breaking Iker Casillas' record. And I don't know if that was all for show by Benfica. I think they were trying to showcase him because he had so much potential and so much, so many high expectations. And maybe Mourinho was obviously a fan. Maybe they're trying to get Manchester United interested. I don't know what the hell that was about, but we were all shocked on here that he was getting to play in such a big stage at such a tender age. And I remember, roll back the tapes. I said it then and I continue to say it. Once you throw the kid out there, now you got to let the kid play.
Yeah.
You can't. And what happened is Benfica went back on it.
Backwards,
I forget who they brought in. Who was it that they brought in? It wasn't Vlaco Dimos. It was what else? I don't even remember.
I think he was brought in due to a necessity. There was injuries at that time, if I'm not mistaken. I think Varela was an option at that season.
Yeah.
And I think Varela was down with an injury, but if I'm not mistaken, Svilar got his start due to injury at first around that.
But not in the Champions League, though, Dave.
The Champions League he was purposely put on.
Not in the Champions League. I think you might be right. That might have been in the league play. I think it might have been Varela, and then they went back to Varela. I think that's what it was, Dave. They went back to Varela, and they burned this kid, and the kid's never been the same goalkeeper since.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
My opinion to that is look, these recent past whatever. I'm pretty sure that at some point we approached them to renew. And obviously, after going through
Benfica tried
the treatment that Cristiano just explained, I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to consider your future with Benfica because that's the way the club has handled you.
I can assure you, Benfica's tried over the last 2 years to
Oh yeah,
re-up him,
I
and he
believe
wouldn't
it.
do it.
Nonetheless, what's happening here is since he didn't really agree to renew a contract, Benfica just felt that why do we keep him around? Why do we give him minutes? Well, so I think that's where the mentality was. Next one.
It was Julio Cesar who was the
There you
backup
go.
in that game.
Yeah, there you go. Dave, Odysseus Vlachodimos, 28 years old, 46 games, 48 games, 4,320 minutes, 90 minutes per game. His contract is up in 2024. Dave, thoughts?
Sell him. Here's where we start getting into our bold defining sell moves. Really, we should have sold him a couple of years ago. I think we've all been clamoring for an upgrade in this position, and I don't think he necessarily makes a good backup keeper. We saw last year when he lost his position to Helton Late. He sulked and made comments in the media, so I don't think he has that mentality to be a good backup keeper. So if we can upgrade this position, sell him.
Yeah. I agree with everything that you said, Dave. He does not make a good backup keeper, and he's just going to destabilize the locker room.
Shout out to Timo, Diogo Reis,
Everybody.
our boy Cristiano Livoru. No, these guys just joined us recently in the last couple of minutes. That's why I'm shouting them out. They've been saying what's up to us and salute.
Yep.
Vlaco Dimas, man, he's a terrific guy. He's a really nice guy.
He's a terrific guy. That's how he leads the conversation.
He's a really nice guy, bro. He's one of the guys I got to spend a lot of time with when he was here with Benfica. Just a peach of a person. But as far as his qualities as a goalkeeper for my favorite soccer club, football club, football. God, I just don't think he meets what the standard is to be a Benfica goalkeeper. He's bailed us out tremendous amount of times over the last 2 seasons. I don't think anyone could deny that. But he's also had a lot of blunders and a lot of questionable, decisions by him that we could all sit here and we could, look under one of them lupas.
But he's also, was very good in a lot of games for us.
I just said that. He saved us a bunch of times. Yeah. But that being said, he's also failed us a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously when you combine it with our poor defensive team defending over the last couple of seasons, obviously, you're just not going to put that on a goalkeeper. But they just came out, I think last night, it was on one of the papers. They put out his stats out of the last goalies over the last 20 years or whatever, 25 years or whatever it may be. And I think he was like second or third from the bottom in terms of goals against this year. His goal, he was horrendous. He gave up way too many goals. I mean, you had Moreira ahead of him. You had Guinea ahead of him. You had so many guys, but I think the only guys, Roberto, I think gave up 43 and 46. So I think he was better than him in terms of goals against. The list was up last. Yo, Freddie, so you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys can pop this up. Right there, where?
In the chat, Vlaco Dimos has conceded the most goals per game than anyone else in the last 20 years.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
Timo is ruthless. Timo got a pair of the guy's gloves, and he said he should have stole them 2 years ago.
Yeah. But I think
after he gave me the gloves,
Robert Enke was below him, and there was another goal. I forget what the other goalie was.
Well, but let's not forget Robert Enke was during the Vietnam era.
But that goes to show. So that goes to show that all the praise about this guy, and you look at his numbers, and they've been absolutely atrocious.
Unlike Pizzi.
Listen, Pizzi has.
I'm sorry. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. For me, it's a sell also for the reasons that they've mentioned. Chris,
there is Magnus 169 games, 176 goals. Not good. Not good. What are you gonna say?
What's your choice?
Sell. I mean, the guy's a nice guy, but sell. All right. I had to tell you that.
Yep. Next up, defenders. We're going to start with Gilberto Carlos, 29 years old, 35 appearances, 2,331 minutes, 67 minutes per game. His contract is up at 2025. Dave, I have you get a crack at her first.
I've got him as a keep. Even if we upgrade in that position, I've liked what I've seen from Gilberto this year, and he seems to be one of the guys that knows how to play with this shirt. So I've got him as a keep there.
I'm down. I'm going to keep two. And just like you, I don't think that. Yeah, he doesn't have the potential to play for the Benfica team that I envision, and obviously I don't envision a team of Galacticos, but certainly a team that's a lot more competitive. And I think that Gilberto brings something, and we all know what he brings. He brings that effort, that raça, and he's a guy that he probably works extremely hard in training, and I think that the harder you work in training, that sometimes could be contagious to your teammates, and you could kind of set an example or kind of motivate guys to do things. For me, as a keep too, because of what he means to the team.
It's funny how time, right, changes people's perspective. Everybody here today is saying keep. You know, is that a word? Last year, I'm pretty sure you go back and roll the tape. There was a lot of people shitting on the guy. A lot of people couldn't stand his guts. And I always came on and I said, you bought a Fiat Punto for 1.5 mil. What do you expect? A Ferrari engine? It's not. Yo, the dude was exactly what
Fiat Punto.
That's a Punto, whatever. That's what you got. You bought the guy for 1.5 mil. What you think you were getting? Donnie Alves? Look, you put in the effort. And this year, he actually took a step up. The guy has elevated his game. So not only is he a finalist for the Ballon d'Or in my book, he should have been in the Eurovision for representing Portugal. Gilberto Carlos, and he's obviously a guy that is fun to be around. He's a guy that his teammates obviously look up to him as an inspiration because the guy is a warrior, and he's got the right attitude and mentality. These are the types of guys that we want Benfica's locker room to be filled with. Now, is he a superstar? No. But then when you compare him to the other 23 options we have at right back, he is a superstar. So, yeah, I think...
I'm willing to say that right now he's our best right back.
I mean, it's between him and Andre Almeida. There's not too many options.
Andre Almeida, Lázaro, Diogo Gonçalves.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah.
But, yeah, keep my man Gilberto Carlos.
Dave, change the screen to defenders, Dave. It was 15 minutes ago. We're doing goalkeepers. This is why we need our producer. Dave's slacking today.
Our producer
I'm on summer mode already.
Yes, Dave's in summer mode.
Our producer came in here rampage mode, right?
So what?
Flooded the
so
chat
what's it for you, Dave? Chris?
Keep.
All right.
Our producer came in, flooded the chat with message and bounced. He went to catch the train.
He gaslit the chain. The chat there.
Yeah. Next up, Lucas Verissimo. Lucas Verissimo, 26 years old. Unfortunately, because of his injury, has only played 18 games, 1,500 minutes, 83 minutes average per game. His contract is up to 2025. I think that everybody's going to agree on this. For me, is a keep.
Keep, man. Let's hope he comes back healthy.
Yeah, and let's hope that the injury hasn't changed them.
According to, I mean, we'll see.
Because usually it's a major knee surgery. He's a bruto.
He's coming back to the porrada.
Dave, what about you?
Yeah, keep as well.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, Valentino Lázaro, but he's on loan from Inter, obviously. Played 26 games. He's 26 years old, 29 games. 1397 minutes, 46 minutes per game, on loan from Inter, as I mentioned. 48. Pá, não vejo bem, pá. Pá, mas está distante e as letras são pequeninas. Yeah, I just, he can go.
Ship him back. Can we send him and João Mario together?
No? There's a connection, however, with Roger Schmidt, but I don't think we're going to keep him. Lázaro at some.
Is he on loan though?
He is on loan.
Sure, wasn't he with
No, he's on loan.
Was it mandatory? Was it?
I think it was a mandatory. I think wasn't it mandatory?
No, he's on loan.
It was mandatory after the João Mario fiasco.
João Mario for free, but we pay for Lázaro.
You get to keep Lázaro as a bonus, 2 for 1.
If you could return him, I return him. But I'm not sure. I could have sworn it was like an obligatory option to buy at the end of the year because of the João Mario stuff. But hey, if not, if we could get up from under it, ciao Laura.
Dave, what's your answer? Return to his parent club? Is that what you
Yeah,
want?
return to Inter.
Send
I
him
didn't
back
see
to
anything
Amazon.
special this year.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go with. And you, Chris?
Yeah, send him back to Amazon.
Next up, Andre Almeida, 31 years old,
He's only 31. Shut up, bro. You
He's been
sure?
around forever. 26 games, 1,300 minutes, 52 minutes per game. His contract is up next year. I mean, I'll go with this one. You could go.
I'm still shocked he's
Sell
only
or
31.
release him. Sell or release him. I don't think he has a place in this locker room unless and I'm gonna copy again from the guys from Benfica Independent that said that if he understands his role at the club and especially in the locker room where he's one of the senior guys, he's probably the most titled player currently in today's roster, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
If he assumes the role of being a house guy, right? That's not going to rock the boat. That's going to teach guys. That's going to speak to guys. That's going to, and I'm sure he has mystica, right? That he's going to spread some of the mystic and some of the history of the club. I think that if he assumes that role, he has a place in this team. If he thinks he's going to compete for a starting job and he still has a place in the starting 11, I think that's the wrong approach. That's my take. So for me, it's either sell or assume that you're not going to be a starter and you're going to be a guy that's just going to be in the locker room for Mystica.
Go ahead, Dave.
Alfredo, I'll save you the minute and 30 seconds you just wasted on. That's a sell. Or no, you can't even sell him. You gotta just release and cut ties.
Sell or release.
Like I'm looking through his career here. You can go back to Alverca, you can go back to Leiria, but don't come back to our club. Go back to one of your old clubs in the third division there.
Magnitude is right. There's this show on TV called Quem Quer Namorar com Agricultor. We can send them to that show.
You put me down for sell already.
No, I did. Yeah, I did. What do you?
I didn't say
go ahead, Chris.
Just because I had to add to a couple of comments. Who on Benfica Independent said that this guy should be some sort of liaison in the locker room?
I think it was either Tiberio or João Paulo, or maybe Picard. I don't know.
I love those guys, and shout out to my Benfica Independent family. But come on, I mean, if this guy has been one of the leaders in the locker room, right? Causing turmoil, getting coaches fired. I don't give a shit if the guy says I'll come back and play for free next year. Now, I'm just, ladies and gentlemen, let's stick with the plan. If it is indeed a fact that he's been involved in some of that nonsense, how could anyone say that this guy deserves to come back next year if he take? And first of all, this is the problem with Benfica, right? This isn't the girls and boys club. We participated. We can't have a guy taking up a roster spot that if we need him tomorrow, we can't count on him. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going based on all the rumors and speculation that we've heard about Andre Almeida over the last 4 or 5 years. If those allegations are indeed true, how the hell do you defend this guy coming back into a locker room next year?
Yeah.
And you can't sell.
I get that.
Who's going to buy this guy? You got to just, ship him out with one of those bags that Luis Livieri used to give to the referees with the T-shirt and the vouchers. Send him out one of those and say, see your ass at the museum in a couple of years signing autographs.
Yeah, maybe
I'm still shocked he's only 31.
Yeah, maybe he could go play for Casapia, the newly promoted Casapia.
Yeah, but it just, come on. I'm surprised that
But you're right. He's just going to take up a roster spot.
Yeah, look, if he's not going to play, retire, and then do what Luizão does. But again, if he was a part of the cancer a lot, how the hell do you defend bringing this guy back?
You're right. But sometimes when you had a 3-headed snake and you cut the heads of the 2 other snakes, that one snake is powerless.
Or it grows more.
No, if they got that venom under the teeth and the tongue, ain't none of that's powerless.
So for you, is a sell.
Sell, nobody buying them. I just told you, give them away.
Give them away. Sell or release.
Give them some vouchers and a T-shirt. Take them.
The vouchers and the T-shirt. Next one is Tomás Araújo. We saw a little bit of Tomás this season. He's only 20 years old. 4 total games that he appeared in, 186, 47 games per minute. His contract is up at 2023. Chris, I'll start with you.
Rojo, Reed is a young kid. Renew him. Let's, bring him back. If he's the 5th option, and again, you could develop him along the way, right? Because right now you still, I do believe Benfica needs to go out and get themselves a legitimate center back to pair with the tandem of Verissimo. When Verisimo's healthy, Otamendi going to have to start weeding out of it. And then you got Morato still. And then you got a kid. If this kid is legit and he is the truth, develop the kid into playing in some Taça da Liga games, and then let's see what we got. Maybe in 2 years, we got ourselves a real solid center back.
Dave, what's it for you?
Yeah, still too early to tell, but I keep him. Definitely don't sell him, and I don't think he gains any value by going on loan. So
no, I don't think so either. I think he falls in that same category. I think he should be a fixture because he's obviously already established himself in the B team. He's been a fixture in the B team. I think he's a kid that he's relatively quick for a center back, and I think that we kind of need that speed and that freshness. But I agree with Chris. It all depends on who's going to come in, but I would keep him. I would definitely keep him. Next up, Morato, 20 years old, 25 appearances, 1,978 minutes, averaging 79 minutes per game. His contract is up in 2024. Dave, you want to start with that one?
Yeah, I've got him as a keep. For how bad this year was, I think we should have given him more of a run here to see what we really got in him. But I still have him as a keep. I don't think we're making money off him if we were to sell him here in the off season, because I don't think he's reached his true value yet. So I still got him as a keep.
Yeah, if it comes down where there's a spot for either Morato or Tomás Araújo,
keep Morato.
You keep him Morato?
Yeah, I'd keep Morato. Look, I'd keep Morato. I'd keep Araújo. Morato, they'll be my 4-5 tandem. We'll play Taça da Liga games. I play those guys, rotate those guys. But again, I need me 3 solid first team choices with these guys backing them up. And I think that's a real start. That's a good start.
Yeah, it's a keep for me also. I think that he has shown that he has potential, and I think that he needs to continue to evolve. And he's not going to – I think at this point he's probably a little bit over the second division level. So I'd like to see him at least. A little bit? Yeah, I think so.
Morato?
Yeah.
He's shown he's a first division player.
That's
not a little bit.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but it's not a little bit. A little bit is a guy that struggles. That couldn't play at Passo Ferreira. This guy could start on
but could he play at Rio Ave, newly promoted Rio Ave?
Yeah. I'm joking.
Next up, Grimaldo. 26 years old, 48 appearances, 3,975 minutes, 83 minutes per game. Contract is up next year.
He's sold already.
Yeah, for me, it's a sell, even if he wasn't sold.
But he's sold already.
What about you?
I think we've been saying he's a sell for the last 2, 3, 4 seasons. Ever since I've been on this podcast, we've been trying to sell him. Napoli was always linked, but sounds like he's going to Barcelona. Is he not?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. He's sold.
If he could be included in a Trincão deal, that would be great.
He's sold. Trincão might wind up at Sporting, but he's sold. It's done.
Dave, what's for you?
Sell.
Oh, yeah. I think we're all in agreement. Jan Vertonghen, 35 years old, 46 appearances, 4,033 minutes, 88 minutes per game.
Jesus, he made 2 less appearances than Grimaldo, and he had more minutes.
His contract is 2023. I said for me it's a release or sell, whatever Benfica decides to do. I just don't think there's enough room for 2 slow center backs.
So hold on, you release him, but you won't release Almeida.
Almeida
Almeida's a release too.
Well, release, sell. I mean, who's going to pick up a 35-year-old?
Yeah, he's a
constant. It's going to have to be a mutual.
It's going to be a mutual parting of the ways.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's it for you, Dave?
Beijing na cara.
Yeah, I got it as a sell. You don't think even Turkey always buys up those terrible contracts? You don't
No.
even think they won't even
Yeah,
spend
What are
money?
you gonna ask for him, Dave?
nobody's even touching him in the MLS. If I'm,
Nobody's
if I'm a
selling.
betting man.
No, teams will take him
He's
for free.
35 years old, dude.
Yeah, they won't. Nobody
Where's
will
he
buy
gonna
him.
play?
Yeah, it'll be a free
Either he goes to the Middle East or
mutual parting of the way. That's it.
Asia. At 35 years old, that's so tough, man.
Yes.
Of
Oh,
course,
you know
you
who
will play in the World Cup.
loves old defenders is that some low team in Italy will snatch him up if they
Nobody
get.
Yeah.
will pay for it, Dave.
The thing
No,
is
but if
that
he's on a free,
Yes, he'll go to Turkey. Nah, Italy's too late. He'll go to Turkey. Maybe go back to his home country, and I don't know.
you know what, he could probably still play in Belgium.
That's what I'm saying.
He could play in Belgium.
That's in Belgium.
What
even
club
in
did he
Holland.
come from in Belgium, Dave? Can you look that up?
he
real
never
quick?
played. He never played in
This is
Belgium.
Ajax is
Oh, he started at Ajax.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's it for you, Chris?
We're
Sell?
spending too much time. No,
Release?
sell, release. He's got mutual.
It's the same thing.
Mutual.
Same thing. Release.
Yeah, mutual. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otamendi, 34 years old, 43 matches, 3,820 minutes, 89, averaging 89 minutes per game. His contract, much like Vertonghen, is up on 2023. Dave.
I've got him as a keep. If I'm selling the one dinosaur, I'll keep this one. But if I'm not mistaken, I read that this is the last season that City is kind of subsidizing the contract. So we're going to need to.
Well, his contract
rework
is up
that.
next year, so yeah, that
But
kind
a
of
part of the agreement
into
was City was going to subsidize and pay his wages or pay a part of the salary
For 2 seasons.
So
Yeah,
now
but
this is
next
coming
season.
into the third
His contract is over.
Yeah, but he's got one more year now. that
and it's an
Benfica's gonna have to
expensive salary.
pay.
His contract is up in 2020 in
City
2023.
let's just say he signed a 3-year deal, right? Let's say he signed a 3-year deal. City's only paying 2 of those 3 years.
Right, but if City's paying for this year,
They paid for last year already.
but is
They
it
paid
2
for
years? They're
2020.
signing for 2 years or 3 or 1 year?
I don't. He could have signed for 10. City said they're only playing for the first 2.
Okay, so this is going to be a second year.
No, this is
No, this is the third
This-
and last
yeah,
that City
right.
is not paying for.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Benfica
that's a
would be on
tough
the
one,
board.
man.
I mean, he's a team captain.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
want
man.
to. I'd want to bring him back, but I don't.
Yeah.
At what price? It depends.
You got it. You have to keep Otamendi, man.
I think so too, but again, it depends at what. Is he going to be getting paid City salary? Can't.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
What's it for you, Chris?
I want him. Keep, but again, are they going to be able to afford him? If the guy's going to demand $8 million a year, but if he's going to have to pay him $4 million, could they? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough, especially when you consider the salary.
It's all comes down to the salary.
Yeah.
So
Nelson is asking, did Benfica agree a contract with him and City was topping up the balance he had left on the City contract? Yeah, that it was kind of like that, Nelson.
So he's
It was
getting
kinda like
paid
that.
£5.4 million per year, and City paid £3.6 million of the first 2 years, but now it comes up to Benfica to pay
how much
£5.4
is
million.
what is £5.4 million? What is that?
Timo said, "That's all semantics, fellas. Simply keep, sell alone." I'm gonna keep.
Dave, what's 5 point whatever pounds?
Agora rapaz também tem que fazer isso, pá.
Just so I can come up.
In grams?
In American dollars or euros? Or you want Canadian dollars?
No, not Canadian dollars. It's monopoly.
That's
money.
the devil's number, 6.66
That's a lot of money.
million.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money, but he is your captain, and he's a central figure in the locker room.
If you let him go, Tarap could be kept.
What do you think? Tarap, lá vai este.
Tô brincar, pá.
Diz lá. Keep across the board.
Keep.
Sandro Cruz, who has played, he's 21 years old, played 2 games this season in the last stretch, 162 minutes, averaging 81 minutes per game. 2024 is when his contract is up. I'm gonna say he needs more time in the B team and on the 23 team for me, Sandro Cruz. So it's keep, but I'd say Shal. That's the main team.
Inconclusive. I don't know nothing about this kid. I seen him play for.
I haven't been impressed. I think there's potential there, but I think that he has to
I
go through his
didn't. What he played like 2 games with
Yeah.
the main squad. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a reason like, oh my god, we let go. Not that I'm a Grimaldo fan, but B team.
Yeah,
Oh,
B team or U23. Let him cut his
B
teeth
team
there.
alone.
Let him get his reps there.
Loan. You know what? I haven't said loan on nobody.
Okay, loan
Oh.
for Chris.
There it is.
What about you, Dave?
I got him as a keep. Do you think we burn him though if we loan him out to another club? And
I don't
Why
know.
would you burn him?
Look, I think that here's the thing, right? You have to assess whether or not this kid is too good for the B team. If you feel that the next level of his progression or his growth is a level above the B team, then at that point I would look for a loan. But if you think that you need to keep him, and let him evolve within the B team and the U23 setup, I would keep him there.
Midfielders, Dave.
Midfielders, Dave.
do we want to give our best defender before we move on to the midfielders, or we want to do that at the end?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a
Oh, yeah.
tough one,
That's
bro.
that's a good call, but let's keep the segment separate.
Okay.
Maite.
Is that a good call?
It's a good call. It's a good shout by Dave.
I
But
think you should do it.
all right, let's do it.
We're here. Já estás com a mão na massa.
Estás com a mão na massa, bata massa.
Sopão. Bora.
A massa pão. Best defender. I'll start. Best defender for me is Otamendi, hands down. Chris?
Dave.
Oh, Dave?
I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go Verissimo because you really saw how much this team shit the bed once he went down. So I'll go Verissimo as our best defender.
What do the Freddies think? Who is your best defender?
You've lost me.
Let him think while you go on your rant.
I'm not going to rant. I'm just going to say Gilberto first raça.
I knew you were going on a rant.
How's that a rant? I just said first raça.
That leads to a rant usually.
No, Gilberto.
Gilberto.
Yeah, why not?
Lucas Veríssimo. Okay, let's see. Chico Marcelino, Otamendi. Bruno Gil Rodrigues, Lucas Veríssimo. Magnitude, Otamendi. Nelson Carvalho, Grimaldo. Chico Marcelino, Otamendi again. Otamendi for Timo. Yeah, I think that honorable mention for Gilberto.
Gilberto's the most improved defender.
Já estás a dizer as coisas.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Defender, the most improved defender.
Okay, tá bom.
So I give him
Pode ser.
I give him. Did you see the picture of him in a Real Madrid jersey the other day on social media? Come on.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you missed it.
All right, next up, Maite. 28 years old, 27 appearances, 1,357 minutes, 50 minutes a game. His contract is 2026. Get rid of him as soon as possible. Sell for me. Dave?
I've got him. Keep him with the team for about a month. See what Roger Schmidt can do with him. If not, then sell or loan.
I don't think there's many coaches that could do much with him. Unless you're Cristiano. Cristiano, he has his own opinion on Maite.
I don't think
It's because he came from Milan.
No, dude, I think
His
you
second club.
guys are a bunch of racist.
Oh, you can't get these kids in.
You guys are a bunch of racist. There's shitheads, Portuguese players that are way worse than him, and everybody go, "Oh my God, the greatest
but-
thing since sliced bread."
But they're probably not making. They're probably not making the money that
I
he's
don't
making.
think, just like I said last year. Remember, like I said last year about Gilberto, he's not as bad as you all make him out to be. Maite is not as bad as you all make him out to be. Now that being said, I let him go, but I mean, dude, you can't.
You let him go or not? What's your answer?
I would, but who's gonna buy him off of the last season he had? It was an
So-
horrendous season.
And we're not going to just let him go.
Exactly. So nobody's gonna buy. He's gonna be there. He ain't going anywhere.
It's a sell for me, sell for you.
Yeah.
Dave is keep until further notice. Next up, Julian Weigl, 26 years old, 48 appearances, 3,963 minutes, 83 minutes per game. His contract is up at 2024. For me, I think this is a keep. Dave?
I've got him as a sell. If we can get, I've got here sell if they get a $25 million offer. If not, then I guess we got to keep him.
Yeah. What's for you, Chris?
25 or above, see you later. Below 20 to 25, got to think about it. Below 20, I keep.
I think that that Weigl is probably one of the few guys that have a market for us.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah. So what's it going to be for you, Chris?
25 or better, sell.
No pode
But
ser
he is
assim,
German,
man.
but he is sir.
It's all semantics, like Timo said. Keep, loan, or
Keep.
sell.
Keep.
Tá bom.
Now Timo's running our show. Our producers in the chat, and Timo's running our show.
We're letting this is like Benfica. We're letting the inmates run the podcast now.
Galera, o Almeida que anda para aí. Paulo Bernardo, 20 years old, 24 appearances, 925 minutes, 39 minutes per game. His contract is up in 2027. I believe he just renewed 2027.
Yeah, he did. Remember, it was all over the news.
I'm gonna say keep.
I'll push to get mad there in third place.
Vai lá, Chris.
Not to say get rid of him.
I didn't say start.
Loan for you.
Loan
him. Get out of here. Go.
What's it for you, Dave?
I've got him as a keep here. I don't think he gets that. I don't know. Tell me the last time that Benfica's loaned out one of their top prospects and it worked out for us.
Well, they ain't worth it. Simple.
So you're saying he's not worth it?
But it's very rare.
What's Jota?
But that's worked out for Jota. Is it going to work out for Benfica?
Exactly. It ain't working out for Benfica.
Well, it could work out for Benfica if he decides to come.
For Brian Cristante, Jovic, it worked out for a lot of guys.
But not for Benfica.
Not for Benfica, exactly. Yeah. I don't think.
No, the only guy I can think of that went on loan and came back to Benfica is Rodrigo.
Oh, back in the days.
Yeah, he went to Bolton.
Yes.
And then he came back from Benfica, and then he was started at Benfica.
Listen, I'm trying to be nice. I haven't seen anything anywhere near what I've been reading and what I've been hearing about this kid. Nothing.
He actually had a good game against Passos. I don't know if it was because he was playing with guys that he's actually a lot more familiar with from the B team.
So I'll say loan just to be nice, because in case I'm wrong.
I think if you go loan, I think it has to be for a team that's going to be in the top half of the table of the Portuguese league, so he could get minutes. I think that if you loan him somewhere in Spain or England or Italy or whatever, he's just going to get lost in a shuffle somewhere. So
then he's not Benfica caliber. If you tell me he can't go to, it's the same thing with Jota. We'll get to Jota in a little while. I'm guessing he's probably going to be on the list. But if the guy goes to Valladolid and he can't crack Valladolid's roster, he can't their lineup, I should say, and then he goes to play in the 5th division over there with the Ranger or Celtic, right? You guys are clamoring for this guy. He's playing in 5th division. I mean, fantastic. He's playing with a bunch of monks. I mean, come on, dude. If you're telling me, there's stipulated he's got to go here because he can't go there, bro, come on. Listen, if he can't go play at a Getafe or Alaves or whatever, then
look,
play at Benfica.
I think that oftentimes Benfica doesn't really analyze the proposal from a club.
Yes,
okay? They got to look at who's ahead of him in the pecking order in the position that he's going to play.
Bro, he's not. Listen,
he's Benfica's interest is that he plays, that he gets playing time. That is Benfica's interest.
The answer says, keep Meite. Nobody's gonna buy Meite off for you. You could put your hoopty outside with a sign for sale. Don't mean just because you put it, don't mean everybody's gonna buy it. Nobody's gonna buy Meite off of the season that he had last year. So that's why you got to keep him. It's not necessarily that he started my team. I'm just saying you got to keep him. Yeah. Nobody's gonna buy him. You spent $7 million. Are you gonna give him away for free? You throwing $7 million down the drain? You're not. So you got to keep him. That's why.
Yeah. Next up is Martin Neto, 19 years old. He's only played this last game. His contract, I think I can see when his contract is up, but I think he's in contract negotiations right now.
There's a lot of the fans are clamoring and they're putting pressure on me if you're gonna re-sign him. But yeah, they're currently conversating.
Yeah, and he's 19 years old, so he's probably at the end of his junior contract, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I can find that information.
They gave this guy a chance with this contract coming up, but Svilar stay on the bench.
Well, that's because the negotiations are probably much more favorable towards Benfica. That's what I'm thinking. For me, it's a keep. Dave?
This guy I didn't even know existed. This one is Cristiano inconclusive for me.
Yeah, it's
Cristiano inconclusive.
This guy,
what about you, Dave?
I don't even know why you have these guys on the list. This guy.
I did a disclaimer at the top of the show where I got these guys. He played one game, so he's part of the team.
B team. Or whatever they do.
Keep keep him at the B team, or you want to loan him?
The guy could be in front of me tomorrow at Starbucks. I don't know who he is. I
He's
mean,
19 years old.
keep him. I don't know.
He's 19 years old, dude.
No, I know who he is, but I'm saying, like, I haven't seen enough. Yeah, I keep him. Yeah. We'll see.
Gomes, 1989, saying Pedro Milomi said he would stay.
Gomes, that's my man, João Gomes. What's up, João? Thank you for tuning in, Joãozinho. Love you, man. That's our boy, João.
I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
There's so many Gomes.
Nah, but there's
Could
only
have been
one
Mr. Gomes.
1989, bro.
So what's it for you?
Keep B team.
Keep
Or
B.
where do they go from the U19s to? I guess it is the B team or the U23. Yeah, B team is better than U23. So.
Next up, João Mario, 29 years old, 45 appearances, 2,953 minutes, 66 minutes average per game. His contract is up in 2020.
Too long.
2026.
Yeah.
Too
far from now.
He was a JJ project. He played while JJ was around. Then he got hurt. Then he got COVID, and he lost his importance to the team. And now he's just been a bleh player for me. I think that he probably falls right in that my take category that nobody's gonna pick him up, unless Benfica end up doing some kind of deal with Braga. He might go to Braga.
He's
He'll
not
play
going. They
Braga.
can't afford unless Benfica. He won't go to Braga.
I know he's making boku bucks. I
Yeah,
think.
Benfica. Unless Benfica is going to pay this guy to go to Braga to try to beat him when they play him. I don't know.
Dave,
that's
what's it for you?
I would get rid of him, but you guys make a good. I would try to sell him, but it's going to be hard. He's making £2.3 million per week again.
£3 million per week for this
or per season. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, for me, it's if we could get rid of him,
It's sell,
get rid of him.
It's gonna be like Maytek.
But he's gonna end up staying there.
I mean, he could get dispensado if he gets. Mendes is involved with them, so maybe they could orchestrate some type of one of these deals to Turkey where he's going to get a raise. But I don't see where Benfica is going to make money. And again, you have to all go back to the last season. It's not like these guys finished on a high. It was just an atrocious season.
Yeah.
Who's going to want to pay? Like, yo, bro, I'll take them off for you. But, yo, I'm just going to...
There's very little players that increase their value throughout the season because of how shitty the season was. Beltarab, 32 years old, 42 appearances, 1,515 minutes, 36 minutes per game.
36.
Yeah, because there was games that he came in and played 10 minutes.
Oh, the red card.
There was games he got a red card in the second minute, and then
So Chris, what
it just doesn't look like 36 minutes. I mean, that's like the lowest score. I mean, that is
Chris. What I did is I took the total number of minutes divided by 42, and that's how I came to 36 minutes.
Thanks, yo, you're good.
It's contract. You
The
can
math
actually
don't lie.
see the formula up there in the
Average minutes a game. Yeah, I see it.
No, the form up there. See, the cell divided by another cell equals the cell.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, for me is sell or release, whatever. Dave, I'll let Cristiano go last because he's gonna have a mouthful.
it's a sell. I'm sorry.
Chris?
The moment of truth.
The dramatic pause.
No, look.
Everybody knows that you have a soft spot for Tarabt.
He had, and I don't know if Benfica is going to be happy about me, but he had a deal with an MLS club last year, for reasonable, little chump change. But then Benfica last second asked for like quadruple, and the deal fell through. I still think they could get a couple of bucks for him. Not much, but yeah, I mean, I'd look.
Yeah, even if it's just to get rid of his salary.
I would. I think his time at Benfica has come to an end.
So for you, is release?
No,
or sell?
For this, you don't release him now. Maybe they're gonna release this guy. No, sell, bro.
Sell.
Respeitinho.
Ninguém dá dinheiro pro homem.
Dá. 1,5 milhão dão por ele. 1,5 milhão.
Next up, Everton. 26 years old, 47 appearances, 2,830, 60 minutes per game. His contract is up in 2025. This is a tough one. Dave.
I don't think it's tough only because he kind of follows in that same category as Mete and João Mario. You're not going to sell him on a low. See what Roger Schmidt can do with him and try to increase his value. But I don't think nobody's going to be paying 20 million for
Yeah.
Everton, so I have him as a keep.
Yeah, I don't think Benfica is going to give up those 20 that they spent on him so soon by releasing him. But if they could, here's the thing, right? Everton's value is definitely down. There's a good possibility that he could go back to Brazil for lower money that Benfica paid him for, or he could tough it out and said, "New coach, blank slate that I'm gonna have. Let me prove my worth and sit here and not give up on this European adventure or European dream."
Well, I think if he's going to flourish, it's with a type of coach like Roger Schmidt is.
You think so?
I think it is. So I think I'd keep him, unless if somebody's willing to give me what I spent for him. I
Yeah.
would think about it. But right again, it's another guy. It's just our old roster is filled with these guys that going based on last season.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to be knocking on your door, lining up to buy him. So,
yeah,
but at the same time, the positive is that with a guy like Roger Schmidt, you'd expect Everton to pick up his game. I think this is going to be make or break. I think Roger Schmidt, the coaching staff, the president, the people involved with making the decisions at the club will want to see this guy at least for a month or two in the preseason to see what we got here, to see if they could turn this guy and get anywhere near the player that we all thought we were getting at a time. And I am a little bit confident about it because Roger Schmidt is the type of guy that's going to get you to go play. You know, it's an attacking style coach, a guy that plays high paced, some tremendous amount of pressure all over the field.
yeah,
But again, it's shoot, let's go forward, attack, get on top of him. And that's the type of player that Everton is. Everton is not going to have that responsibility of tracking back and having to help Grimaldo defend all day.
He's definitely a better suit for Schmidt than he was for JJ. I think, especially in the game style that Schmidt plays. So it's a keep all around. But I do understand the folks that their patience is done with Everton. I see a lot of people sell him, Timo sell him. Everton keep and convert to left back. Diogo Reis says send him to Celtic and bring back Jota. You guys are funny, man. No, I think
If Everton couldn't get accustomed to the Portuguese culture, what do you think he's going to do in Scotland when it's raining 80% of the time? Man, it's
he's going to spend his time at the Trump golf course.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Everton is that we all know of his potential because we've seen it, and there's a little glimmer of hope in everyone, thinking that he could turn it around at some point and he could be good for us. Next up, Diogo Gonçalves, Dave.
I've got him as a sell. I think he's a part of this mean girl clique with Almeida, Rafa, and Pizzi, but he nobody ever brings up his name. But I don't want to associate. I think he might have already been too close to the fire with those group of prima donnas. So I've got him as a sell.
Chris,
So I think his expiration date at Benfica is come and gone.
Yeah.
I think we all expected something, and we got totally opposite of what we all. But again, look, to be fair, right? To be fair, he was playing out of position for a year and a half. JJ tried to convert it to a right back. So maybe again, as I said before, with Roger Schmidt and Everton, he does have the pace. He's a guy that plays, with a lot of movement. Maybe Schmidt could use this guy off the bench. He could be a squad rotation player. So you know what? I change it to rather than sell to keep.
you're gonna change yours to keep?
Yeah, keep.
Yeah. João Gomes is saying bargaining chip to lower Orta's price. Could be.
Yeah.
I think that, as Cristiano mentioned, he's gone backwards these past couple of years. I had some faith with him,
But because he was playing out of position, so I have to be fair.
Right. So I think he's actually gone backwards. And look,
Oh, he had his arms crossed in the Pizzi picture. That's right.
and look, a lot of times there's players like this that their clubs and where they feel the most comfortable are clubs that are mid-level clubs.
Yeah,
like,
he
for
played well
example,
at Famalicão.
like Chiquinho, for example. Chiquinho was
And Moreirense, not at
was
Braga.
really good.
Braga gave
no,
him
not
back
Braga,
after
no.
6
Yeah.
months.
I
I said, take back the lemon.
take back the lemon. Get this lemon out of my Horta.
And like João said, bargaining chip. Horta's done already. It's just a matter of semantics, like Timo likes to say.
Semantics.
It's just how they're going to get him over. But he's already
Yeah.
he's on his way.
Radonjic, 26 years old, 12 games, 342 minutes, 29 minutes per game. He's on loan, right?
Yeah, keep him.
He's on loan
He's
from
on loan.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Keep him what?
Dave said thought he was on loan. Keep.
Yeah, he's on loan.
I'd I mean, did he come for a 2 year loan or was it?
No, it's only one.
Oh, then
For me, it's a return.
give him some vouchers like Almeida and send him packing back to France.
Return for you also, Chris.
Yeah, return.
Dave wants to keep him.
I think I might be the only one that liked what I saw from him, but it was in small dosages, and we never really gave him a good run. Like of how shitty this year was, and we didn't give him the proper chance. I think we played him a month at right back, and then once JJ was gone, this guy was nowhere to be found. So
You played a couple games, man, at right back.
Yeah, but Dave, the thing is this, Dave. You can't keep everybody.
No.
And you know Schmidt's gonna want to come in and bring in his own players, right? And so somebody's got to leave. That's why I'm saying, like,
No,
I'm
but
with you. I think he showed flashes, right? He showed flashes, but somebody's got to leave because I think this guy's going to want to bring in some of his own types of players, and so that's why go back on where you came from. Not that the guy's a bad player, you know what I'm saying, Dave? Does that make sense?
and it just makes it easier because we don't own him too. So that right away, if we're looking to get rid of players, I don't think Roger Schmidt is going to come and try to get a player that was only here on loan when he didn't work with them. First off, he's going to want to try to get other players in here.
Yeah.
Yo, block that guy.
Ooh. Hugo?
Block that guy.
Olha o bum do Oliveira.
Ur.
O burro.
Yes.
Gil Dias, 25 years old, 20 appearances, 827 minutes, 41 minutes per game. His contract is up at 2026. For me, it's sell.
Keep, man, keep. How many players have the privilege of saying they're my neighbors? Keep the guy just for the sake of being my neighbor. That's it. Keep. João Dias. Gil Dias, don't let these guys discourage you. Gil, don't listen to
Dave, what's you?
I've got him as a keep too. I think he's a versatile player that not to keep as a starter and to build a team around, but I think he can fill in some goals.
He was Benfica's best player on Friday, Dave. He was Benfica's best player, bro.
I guess that's why we're the defending ICC champions. If, like I said, that was an ICC Cup match on Friday.
He's scared. He just kept missing up the last pass, but everything else was fine before that.
He's like Rafa Light.
The guy, everybody's
He's a Rafa Light.
He was on 6
What
gears.
it is, Rafa Light.
Game. We watched the game. You said you watched it, right? You're probably you said you were relaxing.
I don't know.
Gil Dias was the one guy. If you close your eyes, like real, just squint and you see the blur, you see something move real fast. It was him.
Meep meep.
My man, Gil Dias.
Diego Moreira is the kid that's still a junior. 17 years old, one appearance, obviously 22 minutes coming in this past game. Contract is up at 2024. For me, is keep him, let him go through the stages. If he's too good for the juniors, let him play in a B team. Let him cut his teeth on the 23.
Nah, that kid's special.
But keep an eye. You got to keep him close. He can't go anywhere.
Hey, listen,
you got to keep him close.
This might, how Benfica every preseason they promote 6 guys that they never play, and then you get the Paulo Bernardo's and everybody's writing stories about being Rui Costa. This is one that deserves all the ink. This is one I think he'll, Benfica will keep a close eye on him. This is a guy that might get some games with this type of coach, because again, the style of the coaching staff is tactics, and I think he fits. But now, 17 years old. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. He's very young, but the kid is special.
Yeah, I think I might have switched the contract between Rafa. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep him.
Rafa and Ronaldovic.
Yeah. Keep him.
Yeah. Keep.
Dave, for you.
I don't know enough about this, so inconclusive for me. I guess keep on default.
Yeah, he's not going on loan yet, Dave.
He's 17 years old. Dude.
Yeah, he's too young. He's gonna.
Rafa Silva.
Loan him to Marseille. That was a good one. Yeah, do
that. 20 years old, 45 appearances, 3,322 minutes, 74 minutes per game. His contract is up at 2023, so next year. And for me, it's sell him.
You got one more year left, bro. Sell.
Sell while you can.
What's our boy's name? Bruno Lage. Come get your boy.
I think there's something to be said about the last stretch of the season for Rafa, right? We saw some odd behaviors, this mysterious injury. I don't know, man. Something doesn't
It
seem
reminded
right.
me of Stefan Marbury with the Knicks eating Vaseline on YouTube or Instagram. Like weird vibes from this guy. He scores goals. He doesn't smile.
Doesn't celebrate.
Doesn't
He scored the
celebrate.
goal
And
of
then he-
his career.
Of his life. And then the dude is upset because his boy left, and then he's not, and then he's mad at the national team, but the convocatoria didn't even come out. I don't know. This dude's all over the
Yeah.
place. Look, you got one more year for Benfica to finally make some money. They were waiting for this guy to explode in order to get I think at this point they get 20, they'll be ecstatic and they'll sell him.
What did
Yeah.
they pay for him? 17?
16 or something like that.
He was at the time he was the highest transfer among Portuguese clubs.
I still think he is. Are they?
You think so?
I don't know.
Sporting might have.
No, Sporting with the coach, which
Sporting,
they're
yeah.
paying over 6 years and with interest. So
Yeah, for me is a sell, man. I
sell.
I think he's given everything that he needs to give to Benfica. For you, Chris, also sell. Dave, sell.
Yeah, it's a sell.
Okay. Last one is Thiago Gouveia, 20 years old, 2 games played, 86 minutes, 43 minutes average. His contract is up 2024. This is another young kid. Again, keep him close. Let him go through his steps.
I didn't like him. B team.
Yeah, B team or under 23. I think that's where you got to be. Dave?
Keep.
Okay.
It was my boy Mo.
And that the Mo's here.
Yeah, Mo's back. This PZ comes back on loan in June, and he's our new reforce.
Oh, he keeps hitting it with the
Yalla,
PC.
Mo.
So that concludes our midfield positions. Best midfielder of the season. Dave, we're going to start with you this time.
Who's that? Oh,
I guess I gotta go with Weigl. If I'm looking at all these bums here, I guess Weigl
Dave.
is.
Não comeces.
Dave. Come on, Dave.
I'm going Weigl.
That's fine, but watch out how you throw that word around bums. Careful.
Whew.
Dave,
It's highlighted, Dave. It's highlighted.
Oh, for you maybe.
I think you got to go Weigl. Yeah, absolutely. You got to go Weigl.
honorable mention for Tarabt. Chris?
Slim pickings. I mean, it was a many,
Yeah, it wasn't money there.
Yeah.
Even João Mário, who showed some potential in the beginning of the season, ended up fizzling out. And I think that if there was some constants on our team throughout the season, Otamendi, Weigl, those guys were always constant, and they were always up there. They were always engaged. So I'm gonna go with Weigl too as our best midfielder. What's the chat think? Where's your preference for best midfielder for this year?
It's
Timo Weigl, Magnitude Weigl,
everybody's saying
Weigl por regra de exclusão. Who else?
Hey, Mo. I don't know if you know, but
Gomes,
Vinicius tore his
Weigl.
knee. Vinicius looks like he's going to be out for a little while. Mo's saying on the, he's talking about PZ coming back and being a reforce. Don't forget about Vinicius coming from PSV, but I don't think he got the news that I think he tore his knee in his last game.
Yeah,
Like that. He looks like he's
yeah,
gonna be out for a while.
pretty bad injury in one of the last games for PSV.
And João Gomes to say sell Rafa. João Gomes is like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He'll never say anything bad about you. So for him to say sell, things aren't going right in Lisboa. So
Bruno Gil Rodrigues, Weigl, Moraes. Who's your best midfielder of the season?
Moraes still thinking
Momo.
about Feja.
Momo.
He's thinking about
He's thinking about Fazer. He's still thinking about Pizzi. He's gonna give it to Pizzi.
Back in the days.
He's gonna give it to Pizzi. Pizzi Dent, the winner in the midfield for Magnitude.
Okay, I think we
He barely played.
Okay, well, Pizzi.
Pizzi, yeah.
It's sad.
Pizzi's for Mo.
it's-
Good job, Mo.
Sad how they talk about that guy, but
Forwards.
what up?
Let's start with Dave. Haris Seferovic, 30 years old, 15
Dave has
appearances.
this banner.
Yeah, Dave. Come on, Dave. Change the banner, bro.
Okay.
Aris Seferovic, 30 years old, 15 appearances, 531 minutes, 35 minutes per game. Contract is up in 2024. Obviously, he's been plagued by some injuries this season. Didn't get to play much. Did play on one game that he got us the winning goal, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall that
I
game.
know it wasn't against Barcelona.
Was it?
No, remember he missed the sitter by himself.
Oh
Chipped the
yeah,
goalie. Mazzola.
but that's so typical
Oh,
Seferovic.
man. Nice guy.
Sell for me, Dave.
Yeah, it pains me, but
No,
He's,
Dave. How can you do that?
I would love him if Chris, get on the phone with your MLS clubs, get him over here on this side of the pond. I'd love to.
Toronto.
Toronto's in shambles, and they're getting Insigne in July here. But get Seferovic on this side of the pond here.
What's for you, Chris?
See, here's the thing. I would want to sell. That being said, the opportunity to sell was 3 years ago.
You're right.
I'm not
You're
knocking him. I'm just saying right now his value is low. I think he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
He's not going unless Benfica's just like, yo, Dave gone to where? What he's just gonna release a player? He's gonna let him go for free. You could have sold for 30 million. Everybody winds up in Turkey.
Magnitude says you can't spell Seferovic without sell. That's not true, bro.
Seferovic.
Sell for you too, Chris? Or
yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be like one of those amicable releases.
I think you should have sold him years ago.
I think Nelson Carvalho is saying that there's Fenerbahce. I think there might be some interest in Turkey, and if not, let him go.
So one thing we're establishing on this podcast is every player that Benfica don't want, there's a market for them in Turkey.
Hey,
that's it.
Like Timo says, come to Besiktas.
Turkey or MLS. Bro, we got to pretend some of that Felix money also included Seth. I do it so I don't become sad. Magnitude. That's great. Next up, Darwin Nunez, 22 years old, 41 appearances, 2,778 minutes, 68 minutes per game. Contract is up in 2025. We would all like to keep him, but the truth is that we may need to sell Darwin Nunez to supplement any investments we're going to do in the players that Schmidt wants.
Not if you sell Gonzalo Ramos, Vigo,
Paul Bernardo.
Who's going to Paul Bernardo?
Who's going to want Gonzalo Ramos?
Turkey. Didn't you guys just all say Turkey? Everybody
is that market?
Turkey.
It's like the bazaar in Istanbul.
Yeah, the bazaars. There's a lot of them over there. Darwin, I'm a guy that I've piled on Darwin last season, but this year the guy, I love to see it. Right, I love to be wrong. Darwin has obviously turned the season around, but again, I would love to see Benfica sell a bunch of other pieces for 100 million. Just I don't see where that 100 million is coming from. So I think they're going to have no other choice but to sell.
Yeah, I think that what Benfica can do in the market has a lot to do with the sell of Darwin. And if there's one player that has market, it's Darwin. And I think, and we already spoke about this last week on the podcast, with the World Cup happening and the winter months in November, right? There's a good chance that clubs are going to want to snap them up before the World Cup.
Forget the world. People just they're going to want to have the type of player with the potential that he has on their roster from day one. And rightfully so. And I think Benfica, as I stated here before, they got that lottery ticket. Do you want to risk it?
Yeah.
Do you want to bring this guy back? You got 100 million right now in your hands, in your tip of your fingers. Do you want to bring this guy back and have potentially, he's already had injuries. I think I know definitely one knee injury. He might have had one before that as well. Do you want to risk that? Now, the reward could be ginormous if he does go to the World Cup in November and he tears up the World Cup, not his knee, and he has a phenomenal World Cup. And then maybe you could get another 30, 40 million on top of that. Now we're talking about João Felix's money. But for now, I think 100 mil, Roger Schmidt's able to spread that money around and bring in 4 or 5 pieces to club and fortify some of these other weaker positions on this team.
What's the minimum you would take for Darwin?
90. I think it's going to go north of 80.
What about you, Dave?
I would say anything higher than 80.
Dave,
Yeah,
I
I
said
would
it
say
right
too.
last week. I've said it all along, north of 80.
Yeah, I think we'd all like to keep him. Unfortunately the reality and how the modus operandum of Benfica is going to have to be they need to do the big sell, and like Chris said, to subsidize all the other ones. Yaramchuk, 26 years old, 42 appearances, 2,025 minutes, 48 minutes per game. His contract is up at 2025. For me, it's a sell. I don't think he's going to be able to be a good fit for Roger Schmidt's style.
Epa, João Gomes says he's leaving for 150. Oh, that's wrong.
50. Pô, that's maluco, pá.
You got a son in Portugal. But I mean, look, he might be right.
150k. Queijadas de Sintra.
Hey, man, listen. Joãozinho is a guy in the know.
150 Turkey lira. Magnitude says Yaramchuk we can't sell. Where's he gonna go? Ukraine.
Ukraine. Hey, pa, who said that?
Dude, we didn't get him from the Ukraine, by the way. Magnitude.
Where do we get him from?
Belgium.
Genk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Ukraine don't even got a league now, man. You guys are messed up.
Well, João Gomes says 150 million is the release clause. Come on, we all know that Benfica.
So Andre Almeida's like 300 million too, right?
We all know that Benfica. If somebody waves 80 million, man, Benfica's gonna just go, let it go. What's it for you, Chris?
Oh, who?
Yarmchuk.
Oh, I thought you were on Darwin. Yeah.
We
Again,
passed it.
guys, Benfica had a freaking disastrous season. Like these guys' value is at an all-time low, other than Darwin. Darling. Everybody else is, dude. You'd love to sell them, but where are you gonna get? You paid 75. What was it, 17 mil? João Gomes, what was it, 17 mil for like 75% or 80% of his contract of his pass. Where are you gonna recoup that money?
Yeah, that's true.
You're not gonna recoup that money. I like to sell every single one of these guys, but it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Guys,
So what's your opinion, Chris?
You gotta keep. Look, I like to sell, but you gotta keep. I just don't.
What about you, Dave?
I got to keep him too. I think it's his first season here with the club. Let him get more accustomed and see what happens and see if Schmidt can work wonders. I feel like we've said that before with other players here, and we're gonna have to see.
Valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point.
Oh,
Não cheguei lá ainda. Epá, esqueci-me. Rodrigo Pinho, 30 years old. 3 appearances, 82 average minutes. I'm sorry. 3 appearances, 82
total minutes.
Total.
Yeah, total minutes.
Total minutes. 27 minutes per game. 2025 is his contract. 2026 is, for me, is let him go. Sell.
Keep. Make it quick. Keep. Let's go.
Keep.
I got to keep too. What are you gonna again? He's coming off injury. He's got no market value. So
he wasn't terrible. He showed little flashes, Dave. And as a fourth, fifth option, a guy that could come in and hold the ball, and you know what, you could do worse.
I don't have Gonçalo Ramos here.
But we'll
For some reason I missed him. Gonçalo Ramos.
You know something.
I
don't
have his
know.
stats.
Was he sold already?
I don't know. I say for me it's a keep for Gonçalo Ramos.
Sell.
Dave?
Sell. I've got it as a keep.
Yeah. Henrique Araújo, 20 years old, 6 appearances, 138 minutes, 23 minutes average per game. His contract is up in 2024. For me, it's a definitely keep. There's not much to say. I think that right now Henrique Araújo has the potential to be a really good forward for Benfica in Portugal. I just think it's it's one of those guys that are forwards have a certain knack to finding that space where they're going to get the ball, and I think Henrique Araújo has that, and combine that with the fact that he has good feet.
These are definitely keep. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, I'd keep him over Paulo Bernardo, Gonçalo Ramos all day. That's the guy I would keep.
Yeah. 20 years old, dude. And in terms of composure, and if you guys have heard him speak in press conferences, I've had now the opportunity to hear him at least 3-4 times in flash interviews. He got fined by it one time, but he displays a maturity and a sense of awareness for defending the club and for the club's values that you really don't normally see in very young players. I seen that with Ruben Dias in terms of that whole discourse and that the speech that he used to have. Uh, and I think that Rico Araújo has the same profile. That's the quê?
So Hook, man. So Hook.
Que ele diz?
Hook says Enrique's a keeper. And who was it?
Magnitude.
Magnitude said he's a striker.
Good call. Magnitude, you're on the ball, buddy. I like it.
Yeah, that's funny.
He's obviously a striker. He's got it, man. You got it.
Yep, you ain't wrong.
So that concludes our forwards. Best forward. Cristiano, I'm gonna start with you.
Best forward, Darling.
Darling.
Only Darling can make my boy Baquero disappear. Has anybody heard from Baquero? I hit him up. I don't see him on Instagram, on Twitter. I haven't. That dude's he's gone missing. I think it's because Baquero might have heard me or listened to me shitting on Darwin, and his conviction, right? He came up. And now I made him look bad, so he's hiding from me.
Maybe he's just
gotta be what it is.
Maybe he's just working extra hours because he had to spend money on the Darwin jersey. I don't know.
Nah, at this point of the season, it's 50% off.
They're discounted, right?
Yeah,
they're discounted. Yeah, I think it's across the board. I think that Darwin wins it. And since we finished up with the whole roster, and before we get to the loan out players, let's do our MVP. I think the MVP probably pretty straightforward. I'm gonna say Darwin.
I mean, foda-se, dizem outro, toma tão cegos.
Que por ti, Chris? Veríssimo.
What, the player of the year?
MVP.
Darwin.
Yeah. What about you, Dave?
It's between him and Tarap.
It's Darwin.
Revelation.
Do these revelations?
Can we do revelation or can we do most improved?
It's because
it falls in the same category, no?
No, most improved.
Two
Most
different
improved. Revelation's a guy that
Revelation is like that just came out of nowhere. He surprised us.
Revelation's got to be young kids. That's how I think of revelation.
So who is
36-year-old? I'm a revelação.
Who was a revelation for you?
Gilberto cannot be a revelation.
The revelation for me was Gonçalo Ramos. He's really the only young player that played with regularity, right? Why is that?
Maybe the second half of the season here.
Gonçalo Ramos was a revelation for you?
If we're going just as young kids, right? Because I like, to me, in my I like to keep the revelations to a certain age limit, right? I can't have no 36-year-old guy that's a revelation. Guy's played his whole career, dude. He's not a revelation. I mean, he's been a revelation at some other point in his time. But I like to keep that one to young players. So I'm gonna give it to Gonçalo because he was a lot better in the second half of the season. And there's a lot of positives with Gonçalo. But
yeah, I think I'm right there with you, and I could have probably said Enrique Araújo, but he hasn't played enough.
He hasn't played enough. He's played what? He's played a couple.
But I'm gonna go with you too. Yeah, revelation has to be a young player or a player that just we really didn't expect anything from them, and they just like burst onto the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy we didn't expect. The guy became one of the first names on the roster on the list, that his game day list for starting 11. And he played huge roles in a lot of games. So I think easy revelation.
Yeah, magnitude. You got it right. Araújo did 2 games, bro.
You can't put him.
Yeah, he just didn't do enough games. What about for the Freddies? Who's your revelation player? What is everybody saying?
Gonçalo Ramos.
Ramos started well, but last game was pretty bad.
Nelson had there. Can Darwin be considered a revelation?
No,
he could.
He played last year, dude.
But he was a bum.
He wasn't really a bum.
You know what I changed?
He had flashes. He was just more consistent this year.
Okay. But he really this year was a lot more consistent.
A lot more consistent.
Foi uma revelação.
Uma revelação de última hora.
Uma revelação que fez o Vaqueiro desaparecer do social media platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's everybody saying? Gonçalo Ramos for everybody?
Gomes, 2 jogos, 3 goals is too small of a sample. Mas é pá, não tá.
Yeah,
He's a great player.
Nelson Carvalho said Ramos is the revelation. We all said sell.
Yeah, o que é que isso tem a ver? That's like picking Vigo to be
André Almeida, Bruno Gil Rodrigues, revelation. He revealed himself to be really sucky.
No, what's amazing? He's 31. He's got white hair.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Revolution is what we need in the locker room. Oh, why did I read this comment? Somebody kicked that guy out of the chat.
Nosso produtor, we miss you, bro.
Ei, não digas mentiras, pá.
Gotta send love to our Freddies.
Next up, most improved. Yeah, I think we're all going to agree on the most improved. For me, is Gilberto.
Dave?
What are you gonna go without Adel Tarap?
No.
I'll save the time here. Gilberto.
Gilberto's my second option.
What's your first?
Darwin Nunez.
There you go.
Yeah, I could see that. Darwin could have swept these prizes. He could have taken all the prizes home. Best defender
midget in the circle.
Against Porto. him and João Mário were the only guys defending, right?
Adel Tarap kind of was gassed a little.
Best attacker, he won that. MVP won that. Most improved, he could have won that. Yeah, from one year to the other, there's quite a difference with Darwin.
Yeah.
So he could have had a clean sweep here.
Yeah, it's Darwin.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So, ganhei. So, you guys all still Gilberto now, without a doubt. Então, vocês, estão brincar comigo?
No, but I could look at it that way. But I think that, you can't give all the prizes to Darwin, dude. You got to save some from other guys. I think that
when your band goes up for the music awards, your favorite band, you say you can't give it all to them. You take it.
Yeah. No, I just think that you got to give something to Gilberto, man. I think that the level of effort that he displayed all year in heart and Hasa, I think that needs to be something mentioned about Gilberto.
I say this to Hugo all the time and a lot of the young bucks that I get to talk to on a weekly basis, right? People need to understand the difference between saying someone's shitty and just saying someone's better. Just by saying that Darwin deserves the most improved, it's not necessarily saying that Gilberto wasn't improved. Gilberto, hell yeah,
right.
He was,
but you said he's second.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, he is. He's getting recognition. We're recognizing his tremendous strides and turning everybody's opinion into a positive one. So, applaud. But I just think the other guy was better. It's not necessarily saying that Gilberto was shit. Saying Gilberto was really good, tremendous turnaround, but the other guy just.
Yeah,
and 150 million.
And especially for you, because you thought he was an absolute bum last season, Darwin.
I still have my huge, serious doubts about Darwin when it comes to at the next level. But he did prove me wrong. He at least at Benfica this season, he was a player that on the counterattack, when he's able to use his physicality, his pace, he's a guy that makes things happen. Now, at the next level, I have serious doubts that he'll be able to continue with that same, consistency. Right?
Well, what did he show us at the Champions League level?
It was put the pé para frente para escala. You see, if you look, and again, I'm not a guy, and I think I had this conversation with Hugo, right? I'm not an analytical guy. I hate the guys that just go based on analytics, and analytics is, the be all to them. The end all to them. But to me, there are times you have to go to analytics to look at some stats, different ways to value, engage a player's improvement and progression. And if you look at Darwin's passes complete per 90, it's atrocious.
Yeah.
Darwin Nunez on a big team that again, you have to be conscious of your next move. I think he fits in the what's his name, Cholo Simeone's system of defend, counterattack. I think it's just all about aggression and effort and go get the ball. It's not a team that's going to sit there and build up play. He struggles when Benfica, and go look at the games against these small clubs in Portugal. He struggled when Benfica had possession of the ball. He's good when it's put the pé para frente, corre. And I just have serious doubts at the next level. And again, look at his pass completion at Benfica, and it is atrocious.
Yeah, I agree with magnitude. They're saying Darwin is a good player for a league like the Premier League. because oftentimes
Depends on the team, though.
yes,
He's not going to do well at Man City.
Yeah,
forget about. I like the way that Liverpool play because Liverpool's direct,
very direct,
very direct. I think he'll be okay there.
and fast.
I'm not, dude. I don't look
very direct and
This
fast.
is the Benfica podcast. We'll talk about Darwin at Benfica, and I think that he should get all the praise and all the the slaps on the backs. He stood, man. He had a phenomenal season for Benfica. It's sad that he's going to leave without any major big titles, right? Major titles. They didn't win crap at Benfica because he did really have a stellar season. So I think he needs to be commended for that. And we'll worry about I won't, because once I am. When guys leave Benfica, I'm over.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll see what happens.
Bola de Prata, best scorer in Portugal this year. He was outstanding. He was a bright spot in Benfica, and that's saying a lot because if Benfica had been at the level that we would hope for, perhaps Darwin doesn't stand out as much, but he was really a bright spot in an otherwise very dark rest of players. All right, turning our attention now to players that are on loan. So what I did with the players that are on loan is basically looked at what they've done for their clubs, and then we could go keep them on loan, return them, whatever. Let's start with Thiago Dantas, 21 years old, 33 appearances, 1,704 minutes, 52 minutes per game. His contract with Benfica ends in 2024, and he's at Tondela.
He just got relegated.
Right.
Don't forget.
But they'll be in the finals this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Tondela's in the
Aveiro, Dave. In Aveiro. Don't forget.
What's it?
Sell.
How's Tondela's grass looking?
It was real shitty. Real shitty. That's why they got relegated.
Yeah.
Sell.
For me is keep him on loan. This is sell. What's for you, Dave?
I've got what? You didn't tear it up with Tondela, but I guess bring him in for the preseason, see what Roger Schmidt can do if he's not a part of the plan. And then
keep for you, Dave.
Yeah.
Jota, 23 years old, 40 appearances, 3,081 minutes, 77 average minutes. Contract is up at 2024. Played for Celtic. Obviously, the one success story that out of the loan players that has done really well. For me, it's a keep, but from what I understand, it's all in the player's hands. It's up to him what he decides. What about you, Chris? What do you see? Sell. I think it's a sell too. If this sell is gonna help us keep another important player, I'm all for it.
Not for $7 million. $7 million is gonna keep João Mario. Gonna keep João Mario around.
Yeah, but maybe he'll pass on Celtic. And then Benfica will sell him to somewhere in England.
If he stays with Benfica, it's to get a starting position or to have the team built around him there. But I love to keep him.
Keep?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, Chiquinho, 26 years old, 13 appearances, 1,149 minutes, 88 minutes per game, 2024. He's currently with Giresunspor. For me, it's a sell.
So, can't believe people last year were saying he should start over the top.
Tomas Tavares, 21 years old,
got hurt.
28 appearances, 2,167, 77 average minutes. His contract is up in 2024, and he just spent a season with Basel, injured ACL. For me, it's a keep.
He ain't going anywhere, so
no, it's not going anywhere. But
the return,
but the recovery room, yeah, but the recovery room. So he's going to be a keep across the board. Next up, Nuno Santos, 23 years old, 36 appearances or 38, 26.91, 71 average minutes. 2024 is when his contract is up. He played at Paços Ferreira, so he's 38 appearances. Paços Ferreira. That's most of the season. I would go sell also.
João Gomes, isn't he involved in the Musa deal that Musa's coming to Benfica and he's going to Boavista?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think he's
I was gonna
involved.
sell that. You can use them as a bargaining chip.
Yeah. Bargaining chip to get one of them players. You could go get what's his name? What's my man in at Santa Clara? Kennedy. Oh, Lincoln.
Lincoln Kennedy.
There used to be a football player. Lincoln.
Yeah, Gabriel, 28 years old, 31 appearances, 2,734 minutes, 88 average minutes per game. Contract is up with 2024. He's with Al Garrafa SC. He can remain at the bar if he wants for me. Sell. Terminate. That's one we haven't used before. Sell.
Terminate.
Terminate for Chris.
Yeah.
How dare you disrespect that Portuguese international? Remember, you were clamoring for him to be on the national.
Yeah.
It was nice at the time.
Yeah, whoever, somebody saved that tweet for sure, waiting to throw that shit back in your face.
He did. But yeah,
He
listen.
did?
Hey, when
What's it for you, Dave?
when Otario makes it to
No.
the national team, Gabriel can make it too.
Fuck, don't even talk to me about that clown. Okay. Florentino Luis, 22 years old, 24 appearances, 1,166 minutes, 49 average minutes, 2024. Spent the year at Getafe. Gonna say keep.
Magnitude is on the road tonight. You know, that's an interesting player because we don't have a player with his characteristics. I definitely keep, and I would like to see what Roger Schmidt's going to be able to do with him, even though I do believe Roger Schmidt's going to bring Sangaroo or somebody.
Sangare.
Whatever.
No, but apparently his value's gone even up to towards Premier League giants. But I've got Florentino as keep, and again another player. That's
say about-
Sangare. He's
Sangare.
apparently
Not Florentino.
Yeah, that's
No,
not my
some Premier League sharks are already after him, so
For
his
sure.
price has gone up.
Pizzi, 32 years old, 10 appearances, 256 minutes, 25 minutes per game. His contract is up in 2023. He's over at Başakşehir. Başakşehir Itomala. For me, it's a get rid of him as soon as possible.
Terminate.
You might go to Braga.
I should have.
Don't even send a plane to go pick him up from Turkey. Let him find his own way back to Portugal if he wants. to
What
come
has
back.
he done? He went to a club that doesn't even fight for the championship, and my man can't play there. He must be doing hella bad in the training sessions. He must be like, oh, koch, dude.
He's not motivated. He's thinking about Rafa. They're all upset.
He's had the same mentality for the last 5-6 years. You think he's gonna change now when he goes somewhere else?
My man is resting on his all the laurels that he got with Benfica. Jetson, 23 years old, 11 appearances, 800 minutes, 61 minutes per game. Let's not forget he joined Rizaspor.
Isn't he on an 18-month loan? He'll be
He
out.
might be, yeah.
He'll be
No,
out
but
this
I heard
season,
there
too.
was. I thought it was Rizaspor to finish this season, but then
And then he's going to Galatasaray.
Right, that's what it
Yeah.
is. That's what it is.
Was it Galatasaray or Besiktas? One of those two.
He goes Gala.
Yeah, so he's
Galo.
going to stay. Carlos Vinicius, 27 years old, 36 appearances for PSV, 1,500 minutes, 42 average minutes per game. 2024 is when his contract is up, and again, he was on loan and picked up a bad injury. I think he's just going to stay. Not going to go anywhere
He's going to stay. He's not going to go anywhere. But
because of the
42
injury.
minutes a game worry me because that's the same coach.
Yeah,
Now, again, it depends on the options that he's going to have at his disposal. But
right,
but he's injured, so we'll worry about
right.
we'll worry about him later.
Well, if anything, he already knows the coach. So whether he has a bad rapport with the coach or not, Dave, you keep obviously right. Not going to go
I
anywhere.
guess, yeah. Nobody else is gonna take him at this
Keep.
if he's injured.
And ladies and gentlemen, that completes our segment.
Okay, bye.
How many? Wait a second. I can't do this. It's too much now.
How many players we kept and how many players we sold?
Yeah. Keep
One.
late on goalkeepers was unanimous. Defenders, Gilberto, Lucas Verissimo,
We were all in
Mazaraújo,
we were all in sync in the return for Lazaro, all in sync
Yep.
with the sell for
Keep Murato, Cel Grimaldo, keep Otamendi, Those are the only guys that we all agreed on. Midfielders,
Keep Weigl.
Weigl.
I said so.
If we get the right offer, you said. Right there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Everton keep.
Keep Everton. Diogo Moreira keep, but obviously that's for the B. And Thiago Villa keep, but that's for the B team. So in the midfielders, really, Weigl and who is the other guy? Everton. Those are the only two guys that we had a consensus of keeping in the midfielders.
There was consensus, but it was to sell.
Right, the consensus to keep, obviously. In the forwards, Henrique Araújo is the only guy that we all agreed that we should keep. Everybody else, Seferovic, sell. Darwin Nunez, we already know what the situation there. We'd love to keep him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yaremchuk, I said sell. Both of you guys said keep. Rodrigo Pinho, I said sell. Both of you guys said keep. And Henrique Araújo, we all agreed on keep. And in terms of the loan players, just to recap everybody on, which guy did
So
we
I said keep 15 players.
counted?
Yeah, I thought I counted.
Yeah,
Go
that's
back.
pretty good.
Scroll up. Scroll up
You,
again.
you throw in you throw in a couple of B teams, you're set, Chris.
I think no, you're gonna bring new players in for sure. So, right, you got Goalkeeper, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You going?
You're about 21, I believe.
16, 17. No, 17. That was it. Heck, yo, that's not bad. And you bring in, like I've been saying all along, 6, 7 new players.
Yeah.
That's your 25. So, yo, look at that. Without even doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Stick, Dave.
You play a lot of Football Manager.
I
Diogo
used to. That new shit's too complicated, bro.
Diogo Reis, a lot of people rode on Jonas's coattail. He carried a lot of people.
Yeah, including Rui Victorious.
Who victorious?
Hey,
Professor
thought
Mambo.
we're gonna let JJ's comments just slip through the podcast here.
Timo says keep Pizzi
He's being around in Turkey.
in Turkey.
Yeah.
Good job. I didn't read that. Get rid of Pizzi.
Who,
I don't think anybody. Oh, Vukotic is the dude that's
There's two
on
different
loan
guys
at
at Boavista.
Boavista, but he's on an extended loan.
But there's another guy also there. I think Nuno Santos. I don't know. There's so many freaking guys. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I forget. But all right, we gotta keep. I counted
Yeah.
17 for me. What about you, Alfredo? I mean, before we go, and we got to look at
Before, how many guys I would keep?
Yeah, you. So,
Deixa eu ver.
Dave, count yours. 1, 2,
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15.
15 guys.
So one less
I'm
than
even
me.
worse than you guys.
I said 17.
What about you, Dave?
Dave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I have
9, 10, 11,
20
12,
guys.
13.
Mãos largas.
You got 20. No, Dave, you can't count the guys on loan.
Keep one.
Yeah, Dave.
All right, not Kokubu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's it.
No,
16.
but he also says keep, then sell.
You said
loan.
not loan.
Keep if we get more than 25. So he's got more. Yeah. So we're all around the same number.
No, but he
17.
said keep Rondagic.
Yeah.
Right.
And the same thing, he's got the one up top too. You missed him. If
See
sell
if
loan.
we sell. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, listen. Before we
great,
go,
man.
I just
Great
wanted to
fun.
say that it's been a really tough season to get through, but at the same time, it's been a whole lot of fun.
We're so happy that it's over.
I want to give a big shout out to my two co-hosts here, my partners in crime, Dave and Alfredo. For those of you listening, I know it's not going to come as a surprise to you guys, but they do all the work. I just show up and talk shit. They actually do the research.
And you let us use the studio in your house.
They put so I pay the electricity. So guys, if you want to be a part of a show, of a podcast for many years, just have it in your house. Then they can't
They
tell
can't
you
kick you out.
Can't tell you to kick rocks.
It's like the fat kid takes the ball and
So,
goes home.
all
Nobody
jokes
plays.
aside, though, I appreciate all the effort and work that you guys put into it. Dave, appreciate you, brother. It's easy for me to come here and just talk my trash. You guys do all this research, and we try to do the very best to the Benfiquistas around the world, speaking English, speaking Benfiquistas, even the Portuguese guys. So thank you very much for all your support. And we look forward to speaking to you guys again when the new season kicks off, man. So
Yeah,
appreciate it.
we'll see if we could produce any content during the off season. It all depends on how we feel. But again, I want to echo Cristiano's words in terms of all the Freddies that have supported us, all the guys that have participated in the chat while we record this live, guys and girls that listen to us on audio format and podcast format. Everybody it's been a very extremely painful season, and we appreciate all you guys that stuck with us and kept us company throughout our misery. It certainly was tough. I also got to say that Dave, you guys don't see it, but David does a really important job on the podcast. He does the research, he puts up the stats, and it's always something that we can count on from Dave. And it's never half-assed. There's always, the stats are all relevant and all good information. So thank you, Dave, for the hard work that you put in for the podcast and for being a part of the podcast. And Cristiano just, he lets me use his studio. So I come here every once in a while. But thank you, all of you guys. I'm so excited that the season is over. I'm ready for the next season, but not before we take a mental break from Benfica. And I don't know if there's such a thing, but certainly is something that we kind of need a mental reset and put all of this behind. There's a lot of things to forget about the season, but there's also a lot of things to remember. And if there's something that you want to remember not to make the same mistakes that you've done this season. Let's hope that this Roger Schmidt era brings a lot more trophies than what we've had in the past couple of years, which was nothing. I'm excited. You should all be excited. And I'm hoping that Benfica can get back on track. Certainly is something that, the passion that we all show for the club, the commitment that we all show for the club. I mean, obviously doing this podcast is commitment. I hope that could be reciprocated by the club in terms of victories and good showings by Benfica. So thanks again for all you guys and for all the support that you give us throughout the years and this year especially. And certainly we're very grateful for that. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your summer. Enjoy your off season. Don't get too caught up in terms of who's coming, who's not coming. Don't forget the Cavani novella. All right, we don't want to have that. So just temper your expectations, and unless you see the guy coming down that ramp and the Portela behind the Martini sign, it's not confirmed.
And last thing before Dave says his little piece, keep an eye out on Time Added On. Alfredo and I will be making some type of comeback on Time Added On, and we look forward to doing that. And we're also going to try to plan in the new season, because I know some of you guys last week were asking in the chat, and we unfortunately didn't get to it. We will try to plan a podcast next season where we just open it up to you guys and everybody could join our the discussion,
like a forum,
and we could bring you guys on, and you could obviously say your thoughts on Benfica.
Yeah, Dave, last words are for you, my friend.
Last words. The pressure is on. No, but share all the sentiments you guys already hit. But really a big shout out to the Freddies. I think this was our first year that we went fully on YouTube and had the interactions from the start of the season to the end here. And really, we've joked about it in the past and how we've treated these podcasts as therapy sessions. And this season was no different. And we definitely interacted a lot with the Freddies. So shout out to the Freddies, and we'll be back soon enough here. June 25th, I believe, is when the preseason starts, if I'm not mistaken. So
So
That's,
we'll be
Thank you, Dave, because I keep going back to July.
we'll
'cause
be
this
we'll be
year's not
on
going.
a week right after the preseason starts. Usually starts on Monday. We'll be back the following Tuesday to
Jesus.
catch everyone up
Right
on
around the
the
corner.
ongoings. Dave, thanks as always. Thanks everyone again.
Thank you,
Enjoy yourselves. Be kind to each other. You know, do a random act of kindness whenever you feel like it. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. Take care, everyone. Later.
Peace.
Go!